Army of Two, what it is it's a co-op game at the base. We first started off wanting to make a game that's a two-player experience, or a player and an AI, and we looked at ways that people could navigate a map and how they could get through it. And then we looked at what else could we apply to this, what kind of game modes. And we looked at the shooter space. We felt that in shooters there's been no innovation in recent years, that they kind of hit their peak. They've been polished, they're really beautiful, and they're really dialed in the controls, but there's nothing new. So what Army of Two is, it's a fully cooperative shooter. From the ground up, everything is based on this two-man action. There's a bunch of two-man mechanics, as well as an aggro system, which I'll explain in a little bit. And all that stuff really ties into this two-man experience of these guys going through this whole real-world battlefield. A main core feature we have is what we call aggro, and it's something that we adopted from the MMO space. And if you're familiar with that, what that is, it's the attention of the AI. So we brought this in where, depending on your inventory and your style of play, you can build the aggro and draw the attention of the AI to you. Then your partner can flank around them and take them out from behind, or even complete objectives. You can play three ways. You can play online over Live or PlayStation Network. You can play locally on the couch with a friend, plug in and play split screen, or you can play one player with a partner AI. So he'll have an intimate knowledge of the like the agrometer and your health. So if your health is low and your aggro is high, he's going to pull out his biggest machine gun and draw all the attention back onto him so that you can regenerate. You can also issue him commands for when you want him to do specific things. You can do it via the D-pad or via the headset. You can tell him to advance, hold position, or follow you. And you can also alter those modes by telling him whether he should be building aggro in those modes or reducing it. You'll find riot shields scattered throughout the map. You can also kind of make them on the fly by prying off a corridor or shooting it off. One guy will pick it up and he can get behind it and use it on his own to shield him from the front, like if he has to run down a corridor, but he has no offensive capabilities. So what he needs is his partner to line up behind him and sort of form a makeshift tank. We also have stuff like a co-op parachute, where one guy will be driving the parachute, the other's strapped to the front and gunning, and the accuracy of the gunner is dependent on the parachute. So if you can imagine, on the ground there's like 5 guys with RPGs firing missiles up. The guy who's driving the parachute has to dodge, the other guy has to shoot the guys, but every time that guy moves, his accuracy goes to crap. So you really need to communicate to say, hey, move, now stop, let me fire. Especially with a sniper rifle, your scope's going to go all over the place. We also have modes like back-to-back, where the two guys stand back-to-back and become an impenetrable fortress. They get bullet time, they can rotate around one another, and they do double damage and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of two-man modes scattered throughout the game that really are sort of the second tier of the co-op mechanic beyond just the aggro manipulating the AI. We have so many weapons in this game, and we have 30 plus customizable weapons. So as you go through missions, you earn money on the fly. Every time you complete an objective, you get money. You can shop between missions and also at mid-mission shopping points, which are scattered maybe 3 to 4 per map. So at that point, you can go in, you can buy any of these 30 plus customizable weapons, or you can upgrade them, and there's about 10 to 15 upgrades per weapon, and that's a persistent inventory. So if you buy a gun, you customize it, you keep it. You can go back in your inventory at those mid-mission shopping points and pull something out of your bank of weapons, or kind of keep what you have currently, or even buy something new or upgrade what you have. Our upgrades are like, you can upgrade the barrels on a gun, which will change the look. It'll also change the power. It'll also change the amount of aggro you build. Stocks will change the accuracy. You can put front mounts, you can put a shotgun underneath, a grenade launcher, a battle grip. You can change how much ammo you have by changing the cartridge sizes. So there's a ton of customization. But the real important thing is how that ties back into a two-man mechanic again, is that you really want to tailor your inventory to match your play style and your partners. So if you have two guys with really big machine guns that build a lot of aggro, the agrometer is going to dance in the middle the whole time. You're never going to be able to shift it back and forth. So if I take the heavy machine gun and I say, you know what, take the G36, throw a suppressor on it, we can actually both fire at the same time, though you'll do a little less damage, and still the aggro will shift my way. I think my favorite thing is that we're really finally doing something new. We're really forcing people to communicate. In every mode, you need to be talking to someone else and really know what you're doing, and it's a direct tie between the two characters. Army of Two, developed by EA Montreal, will be on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 this November 13th. So go ahead and buy it, and buy an extra copy for your friend and play online, man. It's rad.